Hi, this is Dominic from Paphos Life, and today's film comes from the east of Ireland. I made this when we were on our week-long break. So let's have the map up, and we start off in Pernera and do a little loop in there. Then we head down to Protaras and go along the main strip. We do a little loop into Fig Tree Bay car park, then come out again and head towards Connaught Beach, and then we drive down Cape Greco to the peninsula end. Now I'm in a bit of a dilemma doing narration for a driving film on the east of Ireland because I don't really know the area that well. However, I did do a road trip ebook up here, which I'll stick a link up for, last year. So I do know this particular part because this features on it. To start off with, we're in the village, I guess you'd call it, of Pernera, which is just above Protaras, and to the right of Paralimni if you look on the map. It's slightly less touristy than Protaras itself. Get away out of those traffic lights. And first of all, we're going to have a little look in the seafront area of Pernera. Partly because there's a nice restaurant down here which we go to every time we visit. It's called Blue Spice, and we're big fans of their food. It's one of those places where you're always annoyed when you go there because there's so many dishes you like that you have to only pick one of them. I think I had the chili chicken this time. But yes, every year we spend a week up in the east of Ireland just for a change. There's a lot of antagonism, needless antagonism, between the east and the west in terms of, well, basically British expats saying which one's best, etc. But I like both of them. They both got their pluses and minuses. I mean, they both got beaches, but it's no doubt that there are more sandier beaches in the east of Ireland. So. But I prefer the more varied countryside. There's the Blue Spice on the left there that you get in Paphos. But we like both of them, so here we are. If you can hear a funny clicking in the background, I think that's one of the cats doing something they shouldn't be doing. However, I've got myself comfortable now. I've turned off the aircon to record this because first time I tried there was an annoying hum, which does mean it's going to get warm as the film progresses. And remember, if you like our content, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, as it really does help YouTube promote us. And if you want to help us financially, then go to our paphoslife.com/coffee page, and you can either send us coffee or click on one of the affiliate links. So the road down to Blue Spice is kind of a triangle, and we're just coming up to the tip of it again. And after that we'll be heading back up to the main coast road. Traffic in Protaras can get busier than you might expect in Paphos at times, but this we were too early for it to get really heaving, but I know especially at the weekends it can get very busy, because when we were leaving, we left last Saturday to come back to Paphos, there was a huge queue of presumably people coming from Nicosia to spend the weekend here. And there's nothing better than driving against the flow of traffic when there's a huge queue involved on the other side of the road. Perhaps that's just me. You do get a lot of windmills in the east of the island compared to Paphos. I guess it must be windier over here. There was like a regular breeze every afternoon, I noticed. Because you notice these things when you're flying a drone, because it impacts it. Right, so now we're back on the main coast road. If we stay on this, it'll take us all the way to Ayia Napa. But when we get the option, we're going to turn left and go down to the Protaras main strip. Yeah, when we go here, we spend most of the time, I guess, snorkeling and just chilling out and relaxing, basically. There's one particular beach we go to. It's not one of the big ones like Fig Tree on this side, because we like it a bit quieter than that. But it's nice to see all the little fishies. They have quite a few puffer fish here, and they never puff up. It's quite annoying, because I find myself trying to startle them to scare them into puffing, but it never happened. We befriended one of them, and he kept following us, so we had to get limpet meat from the rocks and feed it. Okay, we didn't have to, but I wanted to. But when we dropped food down forward, about 4 others appeared. It was quite funny. We didn't take my car with us on this trip. Normally we did when we went off-roading and stuff, but because I've pretty much gone everywhere here now that I wanted to off-road in, we had a more luxuriant use of my wife's car. And certainly to follow the road trip I published, you don't need an off-road vehicle. Now on the right soon there'll be you probably won't be able to see it in this film, but there's a church on a hill called Prophet Elias, and if you're in Protaras, that's definitely worth a visit. I've been just back there on the right. That wigwam we just saw was a nice Mexican Tex-Mex restaurant, which does nice food as well. Right, but now we're turning down onto the main Protaras Strip. Golden arches get everywhere. And what can I say about this? It's certainly popular and it's very busy. I mean, I drove down here at night, and because of the time of the year and that the Euros are on, it was wall-to-wall football. So I couldn't give you a accurate description of what it's like on a normal night. A little roundabout here. You should note that this is a one-way system, by the way. I know on the road trip I had to do a little loop to accommodate that. Also notice that as you're driving down, you'll see a lot of signs pointing to Fig Tree Bay. Now most of them you can ignore if you're looking for the Fig Tree Bay car park, because it's the one right at the end that you need. All the others will take you to restaurants near Fig Tree Bay. So do bear that in mind. It is very popular at night, this area. Get past the bus without the other bus appearing. Actually, it was a coach. It was quite early in the morning when I filmed this, I should add. If you're wondering why there's not too many people about. And that wasn't for the benefit of this film that time, it's just that I wanted to get out fairly early because it was very hot, and that's what siestas are for, being out for the middle of the day. Because that was our pattern, go out in the morning, spend most of the middle of the day resting, and then go out swimming around 4ish, half 4ish for a few hours. See, the strip's quite long, I should point out. Now you want to pay attention here if you're hunting Fig Tree Bay, because there's big signs there saying Fig Tree Bay, but that's the Fig Tree Bay restaurant. But once you've seen them, you're nearly at the end of the strip, and you need to know that, oh okay, that means I need to take the next left, which is this one, because this is the one that actually does take you to Fig Tree Bay car park. Tiny little sign there. And we'll have a little drive around there, just so you can get a quick peek. I've been swimming in this bay once, but I mean, crowded beaches don't really appeal to us that much. We're not sun worshippers, we don't tend to lay on the beach for half the day. And when you're snorkeling, the more people around, the more turbulence in the water, and so the less clear image there is to see. That's another advantage though about having the wife's car, is that it's got a better turning circle. If that had been my car, we'd have had to do a bit of a shuffle there. But there's the bay again. I did a drone fly over it last year, so if you wanted to see that, just do a search on our channel. To be honest, I didn't actually do that much drone flying when I was out here this year. I could give you numerous excuses as to why, but the real reason was I left the charger at home. I had limited batteries. There's a little bit of traffic. So if you'd been following our road trip, you'd have come down from the left, carried on, and then done a loop and come back up here and then gone right again. But we're going left, so we're effectively going the opposite way of our road trip that I published last year, and which there'll be a link. Seriously, if you are renting a car in the Protaras end, you really want to get a hold of a copy. It's only $2.50 on Amazon, and it'll show you all the decent places to go to. A fun place. Well, not all of them actually, because it doesn't mention really Cyclops Cave, and I went there on this trip for the first time, and it's very good for snorkeling around there. And the cave itself was I felt cheesy because I'd seen a drone film of someone flying their drone in full FPV mode, first person, where you can zoom in and out of all sorts of things. And he came from the cave from the land thing and at land end and went through it and emerged into the sea. But when you actually get to the cave, that's actually impossible, because unless I was at the wrong cave, but I don't think so. There was no exit at the land side, so he must have done a bit of clever editing. But after the main Protaras Strip, you do get Green Bay, which is a very good bay for having a snorkeling. Get past this bus. I mean, personally, if you're in Protaras and you wanted to go for a swim, I'd head for Green Bay, which is that one there. It's very nice there, and it's a bit less populated, shall we say. It has all the showers and stuff there, and I seem to remember there was a little cafe, and you can hire boats and stuff. But it's just less popular. And benefits because of that, if you get what I mean. I think it's less popular because you can't really walk there from a hotel. There's quite a bit of parking space there though. Right, now if you go on the main road you'll be straight to Ayia Napa, but we're going to take a diversion. So we can concentrate on Cape Greco. I mean, we didn't have to use this specific bit, we could have joined it further up, but I want to show you roughly where the turning is for Cyclops Cave. And if you get there, and not the cave itself, but the place where you need to park, there's nice nature trails there. So if you're not going snorkeling and you just want to have a wander around the hills, it's a good place to head to. And you get nice views of Conos Bay, which we'll see, we drive past rather, in a tick anyway. And concentrate and pay attention now. So I can remember where it was. I think it's just up here on the left. Yeah, you have to walk where that car's going, but park just there. It looks like when you park, but there's a trail that you can follow there too, and there is, but it's on the top of the cliff. So you really need to go down into that little, there's a residential complex there, go into that, and then you'll see the nature trail proper starts, and there's a big signpost saying it. Well, what you can't do, I don't think, is park your car there. And now we're going past the big hotel that looms over Conos Bay. And I've already published this year a drone film of the bay itself, which is quite handy because there's no way I was going to bother driving down it in this film. Because there is a road that goes down to the bottom, but it's very windy, and normally it's chock full of cars, and then you have to turn around and drive. Basically, it'd be a very boring film to watch. Now, for a lot of the remainder of this film, you're going to get a view just like this, because this is what driving through Cape Greco is like. It's very flat here in most places. This is what the Ayia has, and Paphos countryside has better, if you like, than the eastern end, I feel. Is a nice countryside. However, Cape Greco is still very nice, but the reason I want to talk about Cape Greco is it's got a decent road going through it. And there's been talk about this in the Ayia, about improving the road system there. And the environmentalists are always going on about how it's going to destroy the area. All I would point out is the road system through Cape Greco hasn't, as far as I'm aware, destroyed the area at all. It's just made certain parts of it more accessible. I mean, there are other parts which doesn't have the road to it where you can only get to either on a decent 4x4 or on foot, and they're still as wild could be. So I don't think Cape Greco has been badly affected by the roads going through it at all. And the brutal fact about the Akamas is there aren't that many people interested in it. I know that sounds surprising, but I'm only going on publication and viewing figures of films I do. So, I mean, you might say, well, why bother putting a road system in then? But I guess you need to have some sort of artery going through it. Even it's just like one that goes all the way up to, I guess it would go to, what's the picnic site called? Smyge's picnic area from the top and Lara Bay, and then back down to the coast at Ayia Napa. Something as simple as that. But one of the things they were talking about was preventing private cars from going on it, which would be bloody horrible if they did that. So I hope they don't do that. Because having to get on a bus just to go and see the Akamas would not be my idea of fun. I have nothing against buses, but the whole point of going to the Akamas is for a bit of peace and solitude. Anyway, let's talk more about Cape Greco. So if you want to find out, because there's quite a bit on Cape Greco, there's a nice chapel with a cave below it, there's a nice lover's bridge, there's their own Blue Lagoon here. I prefer the one in Karmas, has to be said, but it was nice enough here as well. We don't cover them on this drive, but as I said, if you use the road trip ebook, it'll tell you all the places to go to in Cape Greco and in Ayia Napa, Protaras and Paralimni. Now, be careful where you park. If you do park at the Blue Lagoon, this place here, because at certain points in the day coaches arrive for combined coach and ferry tours, and they'll park there and they won't care about blocking you in. So park in a place where there's no way a bus could park in front of you to block you, otherwise you might have a half-hour wait. That's my own little tip. But we're coming to the end now. We love the east of the island, we love the west of the island, we love the whole of Cyprus basically. Wherever you go, you'll have a lovely time. Do respect the countryside though, take your rubbish home with you, and if you do that and smile at people, you'll have a whale of a time here. And on that happy and optimistic note, I will bid you farewell. Cheers!